This is TERF Talk Tuesday. Can't even start the damn thing. So whilst you get ready, here's a tiny bit of this.
Changed my mind. Maybe it was right that if you take those views, maybe you should be cancelled.
Wow, you're on Talk Radio, right? He said, we've had a complaint. Somebody's phoned up because in one of your videos you're being untoward about paedophiles. Oh my God, don't be ridiculous. I'm not a vet, but I know what a dog is.
Would I go to a women's refuge in your world?
Well, no, because then it wouldn't be a women's refuge, would it?
Cancelled.
There are boys and girls toilets in schools, and girls don't have access to single-sex facilities on the basis that we are changing. I'm asking you as a mother, do not use female spaces.
So then there's the problem, isn't it?
What do you have against trans women?
I don't. I just don't think they're women.
Cancelled.
Well, good evening. The numbers are beneath. You can call whenever you're ready. This is TERF Talk Tuesday. What we like to say here at Standing for Women, unlike anybody else, this is speech genuinely inclusive. We aren't messing around. If you've got anything to say, you can call me, and we can listen to whatever you feel like you have been desperate. If you have been dying to say something, if your family and friends around you are going rainbow crazy, if it is peeing you off that everywhere you go there is some sort of Nazi type horrible rainbow. I went in a garage today. You know garages? You know where they sell petrol? You know petrol, super woke petrol? Well, they had a big fat intersex nonsense on theirs. Evening, this is TERF Talk Tuesday. My name is Kellie-Jay. You can say who you are. You don't have to. What would you like to say?
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Hello, this is Kellie-Jay. You can say what you want. You can say who you are. You don't have to. What would you like to say?
Hi, Kellie-Jay. I work in a school. I'm not employed by the school, but I do work in a school, and I regularly have sexual assault. I think sexual assault and sexual harassment of girls is rife in secondary schools. And yet, is any money or resource being put into tackling that in any way, shape or form? No, it's not. And it breaks my heart. And yet, secondary schools are buying in alphabet soup training.
Yeah.
LGBTQA plus XYWZ, spending hundreds of pounds, I'm guessing thousands of pounds. Why? And yet ignoring 50% of the school population and what they're struggling with. They're doing LGBTQ lunchtime clubs, Pride Month displays in the library, International Women's Day. Was there a display in the library? Nothing. Radio silence. And some of these girls that are identifying as trans or going to these lunchtime clubs or wearing the badges, it's because of sexism and lesbophobia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why. And no one is picking up on it. A friend of mine works in a school in a city that I don't live in, and she contacted me the other day and said, help, I've been called into the head's office and accused by another couple of members of staff of transphobia, because in a nutshell, she said, there's only two sexes and there's no such thing as transitioning.
Wow.
It's
Brave.
like living in a science fiction film. It's horrific.
So you're in school, right? You see the culture of people in school, and I'm minded that a lot of the teaching profession are female, including in leadership roles, but we know that sort of proportionately, it's disproportionate. There are more males in leadership roles in comparison to the number of males in the profession, for whatever reason, and I'm sure there are many. What do you make of it, though? Because it's teaching and academia is relatively female, and I don't just mean as in occupied by females, but it's I know really respectable women that talk about the feminization of the syllabus, for example. So how do you see the two things kind of running alongside each other? Do you think we're what do you make of it? Because it doesn't make any coherent sense, right? That in a place where women have a lot of voices, that they are more likely to push this utter tripe into the faces of young girls and pretend that we don't all know what it was like to go to the loo at school, and when you had your period at school, or when boys made comments at school. So what do you think's going on?
I think it's a combination of things. I think it's internalized sexism and misogyny. You know, we are trained as women or as girls from the minute we pop out of our mum's womb to accommodate, to, inverted commas here, kind, to other people's needs, not our own. So particularly, I think it's particularly the kind of the be kind, to empathise, to sympathise. And because the T has attached itself parasitically, it's not a word I use lightly, I'm a lesbian, attached itself to the LGB and used all the kind of same phrases, you know, the kind of stuff that they've said about this is the same fight that it was 20, 30 years ago for lesbian, gay and bisexual people. They feel like they're being empathetic. They feel like, I hate this phrase, but I'm going to use it. They feel like they're being on the right side of history. They feel like they're being caring and kind, and they just, I mean, you know, it isn't just schools, is it, Kellie-Jay?
No.
You know, it's governments, it's women charities that are set up for women, women's refuges, prison, you name business, you know, you name it. And I think they're fearful. Some people know that it's not okay, but they're too scared. This culture of, you know, one of the reasons I respect you so highly in what you do is because, largely speaking, you don't use the language. Largely speaking, you don't use gender woo-woo language. I know I came to what was it, lesbians sitting on chairs eating pizza or something. And I know Julia Long talked about languages, and if we use the language, and I noticed that you try very, very hard not to. She's
been a very good influence on my activism, I must say.
Sorry?
She's been a very good influence on my activism.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, that whole thing about being polite, you know, it cost us nothing to call men she or describe them as trans women. And, you know, in addition to the Gender Recognition Act, I think all that kind of politeness and kindness, we've unwittingly, I don't include myself in that, from the get-go, when they first added the T, I was fucking furious, absolutely furious. But women as a sex class have unwittingly ushered this in.
Yeah. I mean, look, you're very kind. I think that actually some women, well, I think it's so overused, right? But I do think that there's a nasty hatred. I experienced it from a very, very young age. Girls are just really awful to each other. And maybe be kind is a bit of a veneer and a facade. All is a bit of a cycle warfare going on. And I wonder if it's some sort of apparatus for some women to feel that they're not, you know, they're in some sort of wonderful place where they have equality, therefore they can give our rights away. But thank you so much for calling. And look, we will keep working. I'm being told repeatedly that my picture and sound is horrendous. And so I'm going to reboot. But thank you so much for your call. And we got to win it, right?
Kellie-Jay, thank you. And I know the crap that you take on a regular basis. Just keep doing what you're doing. Bloody % behind you.
Thank you so much. All right, take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Right, you lovely people. I'm going to reboot because it's horrendous. I might even name it properly. You never know. So I was